Discover classical music in Radio 3 Dimensions.
Hello, this is Breakfast with Bill Turnbull and Susanna Reid.
After months of
complaints, we've actually seen a slight decrease in the overall number of complaints that we receive, but we're talking huge numbers here. As more people become aware of their rights, and of course as the economic situation bites, more people are asking for help with all kinds of policies and problems and bank accounts. We're seeing lots of different complaints about insurance products, for example, where people on the back of PPI are checking their bank accounts to see what they're paying for, and discovering things that they've forgotten they'd even taken out and are starting to question what they do. Now, some of those policies might not be worthwhile. We see lots of complaints about warranties, for example, or mobile phone insurance that might not always have been the best thing for your needs. But we also see things where people might cancel a very important insurance policy, like a critical illness or a life insurance policy, because they've mistaken it for PPI. So we'd encourage people to stop and think before you cancel anything. But if you're not sure, give us a call at the Ombudsman and we'll do our best to help you.
OK, Martin, well, thank you very much for explaining all of that. That's it from me for now.
Does it mean we won't get those texts and annoying phone calls
I
anymore?
doubt it.
Steph, thank you.
A former technician on the Jeremy Kyle show and someone who made a living interviewing the cast of Doctor Who will be mingling with Hollywood's finest this weekend. The short film The Voorman Problem, made by Baldwin Lee and Mark Gill, has been nominated for an Oscar.
And they managed to get two big stars to perform in it for nothing. Will all that be enough for them to win on Sunday? Our entertainment correspondent Colin Patterson has been to meet the filmmakers before they left for LA.
An unlikely location for the start of a story which this weekend heads to the Oscars.
Well, we're stood outside Strangeways Prison in Manchester. This is where we shot the opening scenes to our short film The Voorman Problem, and now it's Hollywood, here we come.
Director Mark Gill and producer Baldwin Lee are two Manchester-based filmmakers. On Sunday, they'll be joining Leonardo DiCaprio, Sandra Bullock and Meryl Streep on the red carpet at the Academy Awards because they've been nominated in Best Short Film for their tale starring Tom Hollander and Martin Freeman.
Let's just, for a moment, suppose that you are what you say you are. Say it, Doctor, say it. What's a god doing straitjacketed in a prison?
What would you do if you were a god? Spend your days playing golf?
Mixing it with Hollywood A-listers is certainly a far cry from how they began in the business.
Well, here we are at the old Granada Studios, which is where I started out as a sound engineer, and also did some work as a cameraman, vision mixing, directing, and then worked on some great shows such as Stars and Rise and Jeremy Kyle. I started work behind the scenes on classic Doctor Who DVDs, so interviewing old doctors and cast members.
Then they teamed up to make The Voorman Problem.
We knew that the script was in really good shape, and we were really pleased with it and getting great feedback. So we just compiled a list of actors that we thought, well, let's just approach them, and at the top of the list was Kevin Spacey.
He couldn't do it because he's Kevin Spacey and was running, you know, the old Vic, and probably doing something on Netflix and producing films about Facebook. But he said, Tom Holland is probably not doing anything. He'd be quite good at that part, but not as good as me. So why don't you offer it to him?
So everything in this universe is a figment of your imagination?
Exactly. You, this prison, reality TV, Barack Obama.
I really liked the script of The Voorman Problem. I thought it was brilliant, and it was a really good part.
and that's why he agreed to do it for free. As for Mark and Baldwin, they've spent the last month running an Oscar campaign from their Manchester office, trying to combine their day job making corporate films with blagging flights and accommodation. Thankfully, the Postie's done his job though.
So this is the beautifully presented nominees invitation pack. It was quite exciting unwrapping this. So we've got the golden ticket, the invite to the actual ceremony.
This is it?
Yeah, this is it. It is literally golden.
I have been a god ever since I began practicing my profession.
Now the main thing left to sort is what to say if they win and have to speak live in front of a global TV audience in the hundreds of millions.
I've thought about it, but because you get waves of nausea every time he thinks about going up, but I'm okay with it until I think about having to give a speech.
Not a bad problem for the Voorman problem boys to have. Colin Patterson, BBC News, Manchester.
Voorman problem, Oscar problem.
Well, hopefully not a problem.
Yeah, indeed.
Hopefully a problem solved at the weekend. Slightly disturbed by seeing Tom Hollander in a straitjacket there, looking creepy. BBC Breakfast will bring you live updates from Hollywood on Monday morning with details of the winners and the losers at the Oscars and all the stars on the red carpet.
Razzmatazz.
It's one of the best breakfast programmes of the year. I remember those days.
Very
Lee Zomazimba is
We'll be
going
there
out
on
for
the red
us.
carpet. Time now to get news, travel and weather where you are.
See you in a moment. We're just stuck in the red.
Search online for Radio 4 Extra and you'll find every kind of funny.
Thirst when there's nothing.
I think we found the one.
But a slow, glowing dream.
That baby's dope.
That your feet.
You ain't heard nothing yet. Baby, you just ain't heard nothing yet. Here's something, here's something.
Double
Here's a
dope.
lover you never.
It's time for the battles. I heard it in your voice. You went like, bang!
Did it again. That was electric. The Voice 2014 Battle Rounds begin. Saturday at 7 on BBC One.
A very good morning and welcome to BBC One. It's 6 o'clock.
Hello, this is Breakfast with Bill Turnbull and Susanna Reid.
After months of uncertainty, today a decision on the future of the scandal-hit Mid-Staffordshire NHS Trust.
Despite an inquiry uncovering the unnecessary suffering of hundreds of people, many want services to stay open, but the government could decide to close them.
Good morning, it's Tuesday. No, it's not. It's Wednesday, the 26th of February. Beg your pardon.
Also this morning, devastatingly let down. Victims' families denounced the decision to release a suspect in the IRA Hyde Park bombing as questions are asked about how he avoided trial.
Young people with cancer often fail to recover fully in the same way that adults and children do. We'll look at why and what's being done about it.
Good morning. The banks have set aside billions to pay out on PPI mis-selling, but the peak could well be over. Today, I'm looking at who is still complaining.
In sport, Manchester United have a mountain to climb if they're to qualify for the quarter-finals of the Champions League. Last night, they were humbled by Olympiacos in Greece.
Shot over the course of just 3 days, the short film from Manchester, which is up for an Oscar.
What's a god doing straitjacketed in a prison?
What would you do if you were a god? Spend your days playing golf?
We're going to meet the men behind the Voorman problem and find out why the stars performed for free.
And Carol has the weather.
Good morning. It's a chilly start to the day today. And for most of us, it's going to be a day of sunshine and showers, the most prolific of which will be in the north, with some of them merging to give some longer spells of rain. I'll have more details in about 15 minutes.
Carol, thanks very much.
Good morning. First, our main news this morning, the future.
Time now to get news, travel and weather where you are.
See you in a moment. We're just stuck in the red zone.